Hi, this is Tim here. This video is for the Solidworks students who are having some issues with some of the problems. I'm going to tackle all of Lesson 3's Solidworks parts. So this is part number 1, and let's draw it up in Solidworks. I think it's a good idea if you have the printout in front of you, and you already have it there, and you can reference it a little bit easier. I'm guessing you're going to listen to my boring explanation, pause it, and then kind of follow along with it. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is we need to have sketch 1. Now in this example I'm going to probably start with this back wall, thickness 0.62. Now the back wall is 3.125 by 7.5, and then let's put in this semicircle. So let's start. I'm going to go new part, and I check here that I'm in inches. I can change that very quickly there if needs be. I'm going to create a new sketch, and I'm going to create it on the front plane. Now, I'll do my best not to rush through these parts, but you know, I've been doing this for about 10 years now, so I just need to slow down for you guys. Now, what's the diameter of this part? It's 2.25. Okay, and I'll draw a line from this quadrant. So I want to snap to that quadrant, and I'll come all the way over, and I'm just continuing on, just drawing using the line command. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll get a center line from the origin, and I'll click on this and I'll make it vertical, which it already is. I'll using the green select, I'll select these 3 lines, and I'll go symmetrical. This height is 3.125, and this width here is 7.5. So I'm just drawing this out, and then I go to trim entities, and I like this power trim, so I'll just get rid of this business. Press escape to get out of the trim command, and let's move that dimension over a little bit, and let's move these dimensions a little bit closer. Okay, now do you remember what the thickness is? It's 0.62. So let's go back here. I have a fully enclosed region, so let's exit out of the sketch, go to features, extrude emboss base, and I'll just do a blind extrude of 0.62, and let's rotate it. Yeah, I like that, that looks good. And I'll go OK. So there's the first extrude, and I'm holding down that middle mouse button, that middle roller bar, to roller ball, to be able to rotate and have a look at this thing. So let's go back. The next step is, forget about these 2 wings here on either side. Let's just draw this center boss. Now the center boss has a diameter of 3.5. So let's go back. I'll create a sketch on this face here. I hit the space bar, and I look at it normal too. I'm going to draw a line here, and I'm doing my best to lock on to each of those edges. I'll show you again. There you go. You want to highlight that edge, and I'll drop it down. Again, I do a center line from the origin, and if you want it, you can lock into that midpoint. That's probably a good idea. I'm highlighting multiple lines by holding the control key. Again, I use symmetrical. Now, what was this? This was 3.5. Now, in class I keep talking about these enclosed regions. Okay, so we don't have a region here. We have a sketch with 2 lines. You can redraw this these edges if needs be, but I'll show you a better way. So let me just delete that edge. I click on the face, and I go convert to entities, and what it does is it gives us all that those edges that we've redrawn. So let's do it again. I'll press Ctrl Z to undo. I press the face, hold down convert entities, and look, it's after giving me all these edges. So now I'll click on trim entities, and I need to get rid of those edges that I don't need. All I need is this complete region here. Okay, a watertight region. So I'm happy with that. I exit out of here. How far do I need to extrude this by? So let's go back to the drawing. I have my 2.5 dimension from that face back to that face, but I also know that the thickness is 0.62. So what I can do, so essentially from that face to that face is 2.5 minus 0.62. So let's do it. But what Solidworks does is when you go to extrude something, it tries to identify a complete region. And we have a nice complete region there, and it just does it straight away. So let me just show you how we can change the direction back and forth like that. Okay. Now we know this is 2.5 minus 0.62. I make sure that I merge the result. Okay. Now I have two features on my feature tree, and look how I can grab this, and I can come on now. There you go. There's the first feature. There's the second feature, like so. Now, I want to draw the two wings in. What we're going to do is we're going to forget the fact that these wings have fillets on them already. So just forget about it. And let's draw some squares or rectangles. Now, what's the dimension? It looks like it's 6 inches from that face to that face. That's all I need to know. Let's have a look. So where's a good place to sketch this? You can actually do it in a couple of different places, but a good place is just right here. Okay. So I'm after clicking that face, create a new sketch, I hit the space bar, and I go normal 2. And I'll lock onto that corner. Now I'm moving kind of fast here. I could use a center rectangle, or I can use a corner rectangle. A corner rectangle works better because I'm going to lock into that corner point. And I just move that rectangle there, and I lock into this point and move that rectangle there. Now hopefully you know I need that line, and that line. I make them collinear, and it just lines that line up with that edge, and so on. And now they go black because this line is fully defined. Again, let's get a center line to make it symmetrical, and I go this line, this center line, and this, I want them symmetrical. Now watch this. I like it. Now, what's the dimension? It's 6 inches from there to there. That's it. Now let's go back to the drawing. We know that it's 0.62 typical. So if this is 0.62, we know that that thickness there is 0.62 as well. So let's exit out of the sketch, go to Extrude Boss Base, rotate, and you see I can flip the extrusion direction using that key. So what is it? It's 0.62. Lovely. And now I have that. So I have 3 features. Let's rotate it and get a good viewpoint on it. And I have 2 fillets to put in. The fillets are radius 0.5. So let's go to sketch for a second. There is such thing as a sketch fillet, and then there's such thing as a feature fillet. In my opinion, feature fillets work better. So whenever you're going to do a fillet, put it in at the feature level, if that makes sense. So let's click on fillet, and I'll change this to be 0.5. I'll make sure I have feature full preview on, and then I'll get that edge, and I'll get that edge. If I select the wrong edge, whoops, I can click on the face again, or I can highlight it here and manually say I don't want that, and that's the way I like it. If you don't have full preview on, it just selects the edge and you really have no idea what it's going to look like. So this looks good. Let's go OK. Now, what am I missing? The 4 holes. I can't create a feature with 4 holes in it. I'm going to have to do the holes on those 2 faces first, and then the holes on those 2 faces next. So let's have a look at them. What's the diameter? They're 0.75, and it looks like they're 0.2 from the bottom, and then a center line from the very centre they're 2.5 over on each side. So let's have a look. I click on the face, hit the space bar and go normal 2, and then I click on sketch, create a new sketch. So I'm just going to put the 2 holes in, kind of in the right place. I'll make both holes horizontal with each other, their center points. So that's one relation. Let's put in our symmetrical relation that we like. So I'll get the center line in first, and I click a point, hold down the control key so I can select multiple items and go symmetric. Now I remember that from here, now you don't even have to get the center point, you can click on the edge of the circle. So from each circle we want, what is it, 5 inches. And then from any of these bottom lines it's 2 inches up. And that's it. Now how come they haven't gone black, how come they're not fully constrained, is because we haven't put a diameter on them yet. So let's make them both equal to one another. And what is it, it's 0.75. Alright, they go black, they're fully defined, that's a good sign. Let's exit out of the sketch, rotate to have a look at them, and go extrude cut. And we'll go through all. I have multiple selections with extrude cut and extruded boss. I'll probably get into more of those in class, but this extrude through all will work for us. And we'll go OK. And we're going to do the same type of thing on this face. So we'll go sketch. Which face do you want to do it on? That face. Go space bar, let's look at it normal 2. Create 2 sketches. Alright. Now let's see what this looks like if I make this circle concentric. Oh, that doesn't work, I don't think. I don't think it's actually concentric in the drawing, so let's undo that and let's have a look. We know that it's 0.75, so I'll make that the size of both of those circles the same, and I'll put a dimension of 3/4 of an inch on them. And let's have a look. Let's put in a center line, and I'll go from the center of the circle. I'll make them all symmetrical, and let's have a look. It's 1 inch from the edge, and then it's 4.6 inches center to center. .6, and then 1 inch. That's it. And we'll just extrude cut, and that should be it. Through all. And there's your first part. Hope it didn't go too fast. So what do? Let's go save as. Let's save this on the you're going to save this in your H drive or your thumb drive, or a good place. Let's call this lesson 3 part 1. So let's go back over it. There's the first feature, the second feature, third, I add the fillets, then I add the 2 holes. So what is this? This is the feature tree here. You can grab this bar and go up and down. I can go back and I can edit any of the sketches, or I can edit existing features here. So that's the first part, and I'll move on to the second part now in about 2 seconds. Hi, this is Tim again. I'm going to show you how to do part number 2. So this is lesson 3, part number 2. And what's the best way of tackling this this shape here? What I would do is I would try and imagine that this part doesn't have any fillets, and we'll draw it. We're going to draw this top view. So we're going to draw this face here. We'll draw the face first, and we'll extrude it a total of 3 inches. We'll add the 2 holes, and then we'll add the fillets. Okay, so let's give this a lash. So we'll go new, part. I know this is inches, so I'll create a sketch on the front plane. Let's go back to the part. We have a radius 1.38, and then we have another circle that is an offset of a 1/2 inch. Alright, let's see if I can remember that. Okay, 1.38 is the radius, so I'm going to have to go 1.38 multiplied by 2.76. 2.76, and then I know I also have another circle that has an offset of 0.5. Now let's see if I can put that, get a better dimension. There we go, 2.76 and 0.5. Now let's go back here for a sec. This center point runs along the bottom edge and then it comes down and back over. So let's see if I can draw this. The bottom, okay, let's put in a midpoint, or a center line. I think that's going to help us. There we go. So I click the center line, hold down the control key, click on the origin, and I'm going to go midpoint. Now can I grab this and move this around and make this horizontal? There it goes, black. Alright, so what do? I click the center circle. I'm going to click this 9 o'clock quadrant and I'm going to walk out here like so. Just come out here to the edge. I hope I'm doing this the right way, and I'm just kind of drawing in that shape as I think it would look, and I come all the way over back like so. Okay, and I'll do the same the other side. You know, you could mirror this if you want, but I just think it's just as easy just to draw it in. Okay, so I have that. Let's put in our vertical center line, so that'll help with our symmetrical things we want to do. I'll click one edge, another edge, the center line, and I'm going to make those symmetric. Okay, I'm going to make this, let's go back here, a ½ an inch offset all the way around, ½ an inch there, a ½ an inch there, and a ½ an inch there. Okay, let's put that in there, ½ an inch. Let's make this line and that line collinear. I'll make this a ½ an inch as well, 0.5, and I'll make this edge and that edge the same, equal. Alright, what's next? From this very edge to that very edge, it's 8.75. So ½ an inch plus a ½ an inch plus 7 1/4, 8.75. So let's go back. .75. It all goes black. It's good. Let's go back here again, and then from that face there to that line there is 1.25. 1.25. Okay, this line doesn't go black because it needs a relation, so let's make that collinear to this. Let's tidy up these dimensions. And what's next? We're going to trim the lines we don't need. So let's get our trim entities. I like the power trim myself. Alright, and let's get rid of those extra lines. Now I've got to put another dimension on there. I'm after trimming a line away, I've got to put another dimension on there, ½ an inch. There we go, excellent, that's it. Now, what is the extrusion length? Maybe you remember it's 3 inches. So I have the sketch is good, I'll rotate. Look where the front plane is, look where the top is, and look at the right. Now I can right click on any one of those and I can turn on the glasses and it just stays there. And I'll do that now for a bit. There's my front plane, where I drew the part originally. I'm going to go to features, I'm going to go extrude a boss base. It's saying, right, if you want to extrude something, you've got to click on an existing sketch. There's 2 ways of doing it. I can click on an edge here, an edge on the sketch, or I can open up this feature tree here and I can click on that sketch like so. Now I keep telling you in class to use the mid plane an awful lot. This is a good place where we would use this mid plane, and we know that it's 3 inches. So look at it, the part is symmetric across the front plane. It goes a ½ an inch in that direction and a ½ an inch in that direction. So I go okay. Alright, I have that. Next thing is the 2 holes. I click on this face, create the sketch tab, create a new sketch on that face, and go normal 2. I'll stick 2 circles in. It's time to get rid of that plane. We don't need to look at that front plane anymore. So I come up to it, right click, hit the glasses. I'm going to click this center point, and my origin. I'm going to make them all horizontal. Alright, I'll get a center line in, and I'll make all of this symmetrical. Let's go back and see what's the center to center distance is. The center to center distance is 6 inches. 3 inches and 3 inches, 6 inches. Okay, so because I use that symmetric relation, it's 3 inches from there to there and 3 inches from there to there. Let's go back here. It looks like it's centered and it's 0.75. So what's a good way? It's already centered because I put the horizontal mate in. 0.75. This goes black. It's fully defined. This is still undefined. It needs a diameter. I click on the circle, hold down the control key, click on this other circle, and we go equal. So our sketch is good. Let's exit sketch. Extrude cut. Let's have a look what it looks like. And we'll go through all. Like so. Now, fillets and rounds are radius 0.38. So let's do this here. Fillet, feature fillet first of all, 0.38. I have my full preview on. Whenever I'm filleting, I'll zoom in. I'll do a lot of rotating and make it easy on yourself to get the right edge. Alright, we have this one here. We have this one here. We have that one there. And that one there. So there's all the fillets. Now let's do that and see what that looks like. Beautiful. Okay. I talked about tangent propagation in class a little bit, and I'll show you a little example of it. Let's say we want to put a small 50 thousandths fillet and I want it to run along that edge. I'll show you. We put the big fillets in first and we create these nice tangencies, and now I'll put in 0.050. All I need to do is click one edge and it will keep following that smooth edge all the way around the entire shape. You'll see what I mean. There it is right there. Okay, that's what tangent propagation does. There you go, come on. So that's a nice little example of it. Okay, that's the second part. You know, you can do that with just 2 or 3 features. There's the first extrude. Make sure you do the mid plane. I put in the 2 holes, created a sketch on that face, added the fillets, and that's it. So let's save it. Save as lesson 3 part 2. Now we're going to save these as SLDPRT, a solid part. That is a Solidworks file extension. So I'll go save. Lesson 3 part 2. That's it. Okay. Hi, this is Tim here again. This is lecture 3, part number 3. So I'll give this one a go. How many features do I need? I need this top boss. That's one. The second is the second cylinder. The third is the third cylinder, and then the fourth is the little cutout at the front. So what will I do first? I'll do this first boss first, and we'll extrude it. Okay, so what is it? It's a square of about 6 by 3.25. I can remember that much. So let's give it a go. Part. I'm doing this at home and I don't have a printout, so I'm kind of having to go back and forth. I create a sketch. I have a center rectangle. I lock on to the origin. And what is it? It's 6 inches in this direction and 3.25 in this direction. I'm going to, on that part, there's 2 chamfers. There's one there and one there. You can't really see it. They're 0.25 and it's 2 places. I'll do that later. So we got the 3.25, and then we have this Z-shaped. Looks like, what type of joint is that in carpentry? I can't remember. Anyway, let's see if we can do this. So have this Z shape, like so. It's 60 degrees, I can remember that much from class. Put a 60 degrees there, and then it's 0.875. Is it 0.875 from there to there, and then a 4-inch. So from here to here we got 0.875, and from, let's put in a center line. Pretty poor attempt. There we go. And we'll go this point and this center line, will make them symmetric. And then I'll go from that point to that point. I'll make this 4 inches. Now I can do this. I can go from here to here and put in an angle of 60 degrees. Or another way I can do it is you can actually click on that line and click on that line and just make them equal, I think. Yeah, that's it. Is that correct? Let me see, let me check it. 60 degrees. Okay, and if I change this to 45s, I'm going to change the other one. Yeah, lovely, that works. I can handle that. Alright, what do we need to do? Trim. And we lose. Why are we losing that? Can I grab it and move it around? Okay, there we go. So I've got to make this and the origin coincident. Nice. Alright, let's move the dimensions a little bit closer, make them neat. Let's exit out of the sketch and let's go to Extrude Face. Now we're going to do a mid-plane extrude of what? 3.62. Where is it? Right there. 3.62. Mid-plane. Lovely. Let's rotate it and go OK. The next thing is the cylinder on the front. So I'll go sketch. Where do you want to create the sketch? On that face. I'll snap into the origin. And what is it? It's 2.75. And let's see how much you need to extrude it by. So from that face to that face it's 3.25, and then from that face to that face is 2. So from that face to that face is 1.25. So exit sketch, extrude, click on the sketch that we want to extrude, and we'll just do a blind extrude of 1.25. Let's rotate, it looks good. Let's make sure we merge them. Let me show you. If I don't, well, no, I'm not going to show you. If we don't merge them, sure I may as well. If I don't merge them, let's see what happens. I'm left with two solid bodies. I have that solid body on that solid body. There's really no point. You typically want to merge your features together. I don't think I've ever needed to have separate parts. So I'll create a new sketch on this face, create a new circle. What is it? It's a diameter of 1.5 and it's extruded 2. Diameter 1.5, and let's exit that and let's extrude it 2 inches. I'll click on this face, create a sketch on it and go normal 2. I'm going to get a center rectangle and let's do this. No, let's do it the right way. Let's click on the face and go convert to entities to get the circle, and then I'll do a line from here. Ooh, let's try that again. There we go, there's 1. There's 2. Let's make them both vertical. Let's get a center line going. Let's make them symmetric. And what is it? It looks like it's 0.375 with 1 inch cut out. So from there to there, 0.375, and I'll go to trim entities. I'll trim that bit of it away and trim that bit of it away, and I'll just cut this bit out. So it's all black, it's fully defined. Exit the sketch, extrude cut, 1 inch. That's it. Okay. The last feature is the 2 chamfers. So in order to get a chamfer, I come over here to my ribbon, I drop down the fillet, and there's my chamfer. Okay. I'm going to use an angle distance. I would say about 99% of chamfers are a 45-degree angle, and we know that this is 0.25. Let's have a look. 0.25, 45 degrees, 2 places, and I'll go that edge and that edge. Full preview, and that's it. Simple part. So I start off with the base, the main base. I do the first extrude, the circle cylinder, the second cylinder. I take the extruded cut out, and then I add my 2 chamfers. Typically, chamfers and fillets are going to be the last feature that you add to a part. So again, we go save as, lesson 3, part 3. And that's it. I'm going to move on to part 4 now in a sec. Hi, this is Tim again. This is part 4, lesson 3, part 4. It's a piece of sheet metal. How many features we're going to have? We're going to draw this sketch here. We're going to extrude it out a total of 2 inches. We're going to add the 4 slots. Then we're going to add the 3 holes. And then we're going to add the 4 chamfers. So it should be a total of 4 features. So let's have a look. Let's start here. I'll create a sketch on the front plane, and a good place for the origin, I'm probably going to make it on top of the part. I have no idea what sort of size this thing is, but let's draw it out. I'm just sketching here at the moment. It's probably going to be too big. Okay, and let's put a center line in. So let's make sure I hit that origin in the right place. Okay, what do I need to do? Let's go back and check some sort of dimensions. 2.43 from edge to edge, and it's 60 thousandths thick. So we go, let's make this line and this line symmetrical. And what was it again? 2.43. So I'll go from there to there, 2.43, and look what it's going to do. Oh yeah. So what do I need to do? I need to grab these lines and kind of get them in the right place. I'll make this line and this line collinear, that line and that line collinear, and let's move this up a little bit. So why does Solidworks do that? Sometimes you draw a sketch and it's too big, and then you put one dimension on it and it needs to resize itself. When it resizes itself, it can jump around the place, and sometimes you have to just manually get in there and grab the lines and move them into the right place. So the thicknesses of everything is 60 thousandths. Now let's see, is there let me see if I can make this 60 thousandths. Let's go back here and have a look. The inside dimensions 1.05. So we make these 3 lines symmetrical. .05. Alright. What else can I do? The height here from the very bottom to the very top is 1.11. Okay, we're getting there. The thickness here is 60 thousandths as well. Let's try that again. And from there to there is 60 thousandths. Okay, so let's put these dimensions in a kind of a neat, get them neat somehow. Alright. Okay, that's it. It's a fully defined sketch. I'm going to go back and extrude this mid-plane 2 inches. I've got a nice region there. We're going to go mid-plane, a total of 2 inches. Okay, I'm going to, let's do this. I'm going to create a sketch on here, on this face, with the 3 holes and the 2 slots, and I'm going to extrude cut them. So let's put, I'm guessing one hole is going to be centered like so. I'm not so sure if it is, so let's try that again. Let's put in 3 circles. 1, 2, 3, and let's make them all vertical to the origin. Let's make them all equal. Now what's their diameter? A diameter of 0.170. That's it. The first dimension, 3.75 from this edge, 0.375. Did I say 3.75? I can't remember. 0.375. Next one's 1 inch, and then the next one's 1.625. So I'll just make this guy. Let's try that again. 1 inch there, and then 1.625. 1.625. Okay, so let's move these dimensions a little bit closer, tidy them up. Alright, I'm going to put in 2 slots, and then I'm going to mirror them over. So if you want to draw a slot, you can draw 2 circles. You can make them equal. You can draw lines between the quadrants, like so, and then you can trim them, like so. Now I have a slot. I've heard it being called an oblong as well. That's kind of a pain. I'll show you an easier way. Tools, sketch entities, and then a straight slot. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get one drawn. Now what is it? The edge to edge distance of the slot, it's typically done from the center point to the center point, but the edge to the edge is 0.53. So how do we do that? If I hold down the shift key while I put this dimension in, it should give me the maximum edge to edge distance. And we said this was 0.53. How did I do that? I held down the shift key while I was applying that dimension. Now, it looks like the edge of this is 0.173 from there, so from here to here is 0.173, and then let's go back here again. It looks like it's 0.110 from the edge, TYP. That means all slots are going to take the same dimensions as this one here, 0.110. So I'll go smart dimension from that edge. I'm holding down the shift key. I click there, and I can't remember what it was, 0.11. And let's get the radius of the slot. What is it? It's diameter 0.281, wide slot. So from here to here is 0.281. Goes all black. There we go. Now watch this. I'm going to put in a center line from my mirror, and another center line in this direction. Now let's make that horizontal. There it goes. Mirror entities. I want to mirror this slot about this line. That's that. That's one done. Another mirror entities. I want to mirror this slot and that slot. Come on now. Slot 2 about this line, and there we go. So I have all this sketch geometry on that top face. And what I'll do is I'm going to go exit sketch, extrude cut, and I'm just going to go through all. And look what it does. It just goes straight through. Cuts the holes first and then cuts the slots. So the last thing is the chamfers. So it's a 4.13 by 0.13. Really it's an 1/8 inch chamfer. So we get our chamfer from here. I want a distance chamfer, and it's going to be, well, really I can use an angle distance of 45, and I'm just going to make a 0.125, and I'll click one edge. There we go, and I'm doing my best to zoom in and out, get the right edge to chamfer. That chamfer's a nice tool, because if this is a piece of sheet metal, and you know this looks like a pretty typical piece of sheet metal, if you caught your hand on that edge there, it would most definitely cut you. So it's a kind of a good tool to have. Right, so that's the fourth part. I'll go save as lesson 3 part 4. That's it. Let's move on to the next one. Hi, this is part 5, lesson 3 part 5, and this is kind of a step up from some of the other parts we were doing. They were kind of a little bit simpler. So this is kind of challenging. So this is what we're going to create. We're going to create this solid model of that part. That's what it looks like. Where can we start? I'm going to start with this. The first feature is going to be this main block. I don't know how you can see it. Forget about those 2 cylinders. Forget about that rib. Forget about that back portion. Just that main block in the middle. And then we're going to take cuts out of it on either side. So we need to draw that main block. So I'm going to follow this line. That bit of it. That bit of it. Across. And I'm just going to draw a straight line up. And then come back around. Now these are kind of large enough numbers, so you know, I probably should do a better job of labeling whether it's inches or millimeters, but in this example we're going to make this millimeters. It's kind of a big number. So let's get rid of this old part and create a new one. And I'm going to change this first of all, and I'm going to change the units to be millimeters. I'm going to create a sketch on the front plane. Now a good place for the origin would be, what do we pick the origin? Would probably be this point here where the 2 circles lie. So let me think here. Let's do this. Let's draw the 2 circles and then draw this bit of it away. So the 2 circles are 60 and 36. Okay, 60 and 36. This one's 60. Let's do that again and get a better looking dimension on it. There's 60 and then 36. Alright, we got those 2 circles in. I'm going to draw a straight line up, a horizontal line, then a vertical line, and I'll just follow this around. So let's go back. I'm not that worried about the dimensions. I'm just going to get the overall kind of shape of it. So it looks something like this, and then it comes over, it comes down, can't remember. Let's go back, comes over, I'm not doing a great job of remembering, and then it does something like that. So I'm just sketching there, and let's go back and remember these dimensions. We have a dimension of this line from there to there is 40. Where am I getting that from? The top view. And then we have the 6. So let's put those in. This is 40. Make sure the dimension is put in. That's 6. What else? 18 and then 60. Let's put those in. 18 and then 60 is going from this point, and I know I told you I'd rather that you dimension lines to lines, but this is a place where we'll go from a point to point. And then we have 140. So if I want to go from here to there, I need to go 140 minus 60 minus 18 and then minus whatever this is, and that's 18 as well. So I'm going to have to write that down. My head is melted after doing a lot of these parts. 140 minus 60 minus 36, and that's going to give me the dimension from there to there. Now I don't need a calculator, I'm just going to put it straight in here. So from here to the origin is 140 minus 60 minus 18 minus 18. And what 44? What is going on there? Let me go back and check that. 140 minus 60 minus 18. Oh God, my head is melted. Yeah, that's not going to be... Okay, I see what we need to do. It's 140 minus 18 is what we want. Brain dead. So from there to there is 140 minus 18. Here we go. 140 minus 18. Sorry to confuse you. Alright, and then this distance, so from that line to that line is 40. Okay? So let's put this in 40. And it all goes black. Okay, so what do I need to do? I have the first sketch. Now let's go back and have a look. I'm going to extrude this main part out by what? 54. Okay. So let's extrude the whole thing out 54. Exit sketch, features, extrude, and I'm going to, this time I have lots of different regions. So I'm going to select the regions, select that contour, that one, and that. I'm going to go mid plane, and I'm going to make it 54, like so. And I'm going to go OK. Alright, let's right click on this and let's look at this sketch. I'm going to turn it on. Look at that sketch there. Be nice if I could use that circle again and extrude that cylinder. Now the cylinder, this big cylinder here, don't worry about the fact that there's a cut in it. We'll put that cut in later. Let's get that cylinder. So it's 24 plus 24 plus 18. I think that's 64, I'm not sure. We'll do it now in a sec. So the main thing is to right click and turn this on. Hit the glass so you can actually see it. And then I go features. And I'm going to use the same sketch again. I'm going to do a mid plane. 54. It's 66 is what it is, but I'm going to type it in to double check. 24 plus 24 plus 18. 24 plus 24 plus 18. 66. Alright. Now, what am I after doing there? Notice that I have two features that are using the same sketch, and there's a little hand here. This is called a shared sketch, and you can do that. Okay? And I'll show you another example of it. I'm going to go to extrude cut, and I'm going to share this. I'm interested in that smaller hole. I'm going to go mid plane. No, I'd like to go through mid plane. Okay, 66. I'm going to do something else. Can I go blind? Yes. I'm going to go through all in that direction, and I'm going to go direction 2 directions and through all, and I'm going to go OK, and it will cut that hole straight through. That's that. Now I'm done with that sketch. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to do this well, I'm not quite done yet. Let's take these cutouts out of it, and I need to remember the number 12. So I'm going to show you something new here. So this is you're going to like this. I create a sketch on that face. I'm going to go normal 2, and I'm going to get that point, and I'm going to just draw this bit of it in. Now I need to go over that line again because I need an enclosed region. And what was this dimension here? 12. So from there to there is 12. Very nice. Now how far do we need to extrude it in? We need to extrude it 54 divided by 2. No, not 54 divided. 54 minus 18 divided by 2. Alright, 54 divided by minus 18. Divide that by 2. Now watch this. Alright. Exit sketch. Features. Extrude cut. I put this in. I need to put it in brackets, so you know what PEMDAS means. 54 minus 18. Put put them in brackets, divided by 2, 18 millimeters. Okay, so that's a nice bit of arithmetic there that you can put in. Make sure you got to use the PEMDAS rule. Now, I have this cut out on one side of my object. It'd be nice if I could just mirror that over to the other side. Whenever you have a sketch mirror, you need to have a sketch line to mirror it across. Whenever you want to mirror a feature, you have to use a plane. Now, which plane are we going to use? I'm going to use that front plane, and I'm going to mirror that across that front plane. Now, let's say you didn't mid-plane this, and let's say for whatever reason you screwed up, and we need a mid-plane. I'll show you how to do it. I go to reference geometry. I go to plane. I can click. Don't worry about this. I can click on one face, rotate. I can click on another face, and look what it does. It puts that plane right bang in the middle, and it's saying it's fully defined. And I'll go OK. I'm going to click on this plane, click on it once and hold down for a sec, and I'm going to call this a mid-plane. To be honest with you, you do not need to name your planes. It's kind of a good habit though. So there it is, mid-plane. Then I'm going to go to, instead of going to, don't do a sketch mirror, we want a feature mirror. So what's my mirror face plane going to be? It's going to be this mid-plane. What feature do I want to mirror? I can actually click in there and it picks it up. A cut extrude 2. Another thing you can do is, let's delete that for a sec, is drop this down, and what do we want to mirror? We want to mirror the cut extrude 2. And look, it looks good. I have the full preview on. I like that. So let's go OK, and there it is. We're done with that mid-plane. So I'll click on it, I'll hit the glasses and turn it off. The last thing I need to do, well, I keep saying that, there's 2 more features to go. I'm going to put this back wall in with the 2 fillets and the 2 circles. Then we have that rib. We still have a lot more to go. Okay, I'll create a sketch on that face. I'll go normal 2, and I'm going to draw a rectangle, a corner rectangle. I'll just start up there and drop it down there, and I'm going to make this line and that line collinear. Let's move this over a little bit, and let's see what the dimensions are. 92 by 80, 92 by 80. So that's 92. That's 80. Okay, it's not centered. So let's get a center line. And let's get these 3 lines highlighted, and let's go symmetry. I can put the fillets in now if you want to. I'm going to put these fillets in because the circles and the circles are concentric to the fillets. I'll put the fillets in first, then I can put the circle in. They're both, one's radius 16, the other one's diameter 16. I can remember that. So we'll go sketch fillet 16. 1, 2, 1, 2. There's the fillets. There's my center point of both of my circles. So let's lock in. Let's highlight them both. Let's make them equal. Now what is this? This is diameter 16. And there we go, we have a fully constrained sketch. Now the thickness of this is 18 up here. So I'll revolve it, rotate it to get a better angle at it. I'll exit my sketch. Extrude. It's smart, it picked up the region that I want. Let's say it didn't get the right region. Sometimes you have to manually go in here and say, no, this is what I want and this is what I want, but it actually did it right the first time. So it remembers, we put in 18 and we go OK. We make sure that we merge it, and there it is, there's that. OK, I'm going to do this cutout here first, and then we're going to put that rib in. Now the rib is a little bit more trickier, so let's do the cutout first. The cutout is 18, and then it looks like it's 24 in from the center line. Okay, so I'm going to create a sketch on that face. I'll go normal 2, and let's change this so I can see what's going on. There's my hidden lines. So I'm going to create a rectangle, just throw it down anywhere. I know that this is 18 from there to there, and I know that that's origin is my center point, so I can go from here to here and make that 24. Now, how do I center this up? Again, I put in a center line from the origin to here, okay, and then I'll select the 3 lines and I'll make it symmetry, and that's it. Now this can actually, look, this line here, the proper thing to do is lock it in really with that circle there. Why is that? If you come back and have to change this, and this cylinder gets an awful lot bigger, what'll happen is that cutout will follow it. So let's see, can we do this? Can I click that edge? Can I lock this in somehow? I click the edge, hold down the control key. It's not letting me do it. Let me think. I can get this point. This point will work for me. I'll make it coincident with that point. Now you could have left that line dangling there and look, it would have worked fine. So let's go back to shaded with edges. Let's exit out of the sketch, and what are we going to do? Extrude cut, and then through all, like so. And that's it. Now let's get the rib going. What is a good plane to put the rib in? Not the right, not the top, the front. We put the rib in there. So I click sketch, create a new sketch on the front plane. I'm going to hit the space bar. I'm going to click this edge. I'm holding down the control key. Click that edge. I'm going to go convert entities, and it gives me that existing geometry. I don't need this bit of it away, so I'm going to trim this. And then I'm going to draw a line from that point to that point. Now let's have a look. Alright, is that what it looks like? Yeah, I've been doing this for so long. Now the thickness of this thing is 12 millimeters. So I have my nice region there. I'm going to exit out of it and go extrude boss base. What do I need to do? Mid plane, and change that to 12. Make sure it says merge result, and I'll go OK. And that's it. How many features? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the mid plane. So let's just show you again. First feature, second feature, took the cut, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. So that's a pretty, it's a pretty impressive part. So if you've modelled this up and you understand really what's going on, you're in good shape. So let's save it. Save as lesson 3, part, I think it's 5. Okay, and that's it. 2 more parts to go, and then we're done. Hello again, this is Tim. Part number 6, we're nearly done. I have the front, the top, and the side view, and we're going to create a solid model of this. I'm going to show you how to, you can do things a couple of different ways, but I'm going to show you I think I've shown you how to do shared sketches before, but this is how I'm going to tackle this problem. I'm just going to literally draw all of this sketch out, the Y shape, the rectangle, these webs on either side, and I can draw this out, and that's the only sketch I'm going to need. So I'll knock that out. So let's get rid of this and let's create a new part. Okay, so let me go back here. 75, these numbers are quite large. I'm going to make this in millimeters, and I'm going to create a new sketch. Now a good place for the origin is the center point of the 2 circles. So let's do that. What are they? Radius 20 and then an offset of 8. So the big one's 20 and the small one's an offset of 8. Okay, so is it 20 radius? Yeah, radius 20. Alright, let's go back. And then an offset of 8. So we're going to have a diameter of 40. I'm going brain dead. And then 8 inside, okay. An offset of 8 to the inside. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to put in a center rectangle down here, like so. I'm going to tell this center point and the center point, the origin, I'm going to make them vertical. Now what is it? It's 9 by 75. Let's do that. 75 and then 9, and then the distance from here to here, I looked like it was 40. No, yeah, that's right, 40. So from this point, this line, to the origin is going to be 40. There it is. This goes black, and then what am I going to do? This is in the shape of a Y, so I'm going to go from one quadrant to another quadrant, and I'm going to trim this bit of it away, like so, and then there. Now let's move these dimensions into a better place. There we go. And then what's left? I need a straight line from here. Let's try that again. From there to there, and from there to there. I'm going to highlight, but while they're both automatically vertical, let's put in our center line from here to here, and I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it symmetrical, and it's 10 from edge to edge. There's 10, and then I'm going to go, what else is next? We have that to there for the web, or the rib, but you can call it either way. And that's it. That's all the sketch that I need. Everything is black. You'll see what I mean now in a sec. I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to start extruding, mid-plane extruding. This is 52 for the rectangle, so let's go for it. Select the contours, just that. Mid-plane, I'm going to make a 52. I'm going to go OK, that's that done. I'm going to open up the sketch, right click on it, I'm going to go, don't you go anywhere, you stay there, and now it's back. Let's get the Y shape first. It has an extrusion of 40, so let's go back. Mid-plane, 40. I'll get that contour and that. That was a bit strange. Let's turn this thin feature off. Is this going to work? Let's get rid of that. There it goes. I feel like I want to do that again. I feel like I'm going to confuse you. Okay, let's try that again. I also feel like these lines I could get rid of. So let's just do that. Okay. So extrude. We don't want a thin feature. Turn it off. Turn off that selected contours. Get in there and highlight the ones that we want. We're going to go mid-plane. I'm going to make this 40. Now, whenever I select a contour, I'm not clicking on a line. I have to actually get inside that region. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you. I'll make sure that I merge result, and I'll go OK. And there's that. This is called a shared sketch. You know that. What's the next one? Just 8. So again, I go extrude above space, click on the edge. It thinks it's a thin feature. It's not. I'm going to get in there and get the region. That one there, and that one there. Mid-plane. And I'm going to make it 8. And I'm going to go OK. And that's it. I'm going to turn the sketch off as we don't need it. What did I do there? I'm just using mid-plane extrudes, and I'm using a shared sketch. So in this example, I just drew that whole thing. Now I'm getting lazy, and I don't want to do the last problem. It's the same business. You can draw this entire sketch out here. What I should do is I'll take a break and I'll do the next one. So, alright, talk to you in a bit.